Hey everybody, welcome back to the 12 Days of Mods Tacoma build. It is day 7. We are officially halfway through the build. And as you can see under the tree, there are still tons of presents and most of them are pretty large. So we might have our work cut out for us today. But that's really gonna be up to Corey and which one he decides to open for today.
Yeah, we're on day 7 and there's definitely more than 5 gifts there. So there's definitely multiples.
Yeah, there's multiples, yeah.
So yeah.
In fact, I don't think there's any left that aren't multiples. I'm not sure, but.
All right.
Now what is Corey's gonna go ahead and take his pick and then I can deliver the news of how many go with it.
Yep. All right, well.
Let's go with the Santa one here. Oh, it's a heavy one. It's a heavy one. Oh, ripping it.
Okay, don't unwrap it yet. I gotta grab the camera.
All right, we'll grab it.
So the good news is there's only one that goes with that.
Only one.
Yes.
Which one is that?
The bad news is it's that really big one on the bottom of the pile.
So I have to take all that stuff off?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna grab the camera.
Well, these two are the same. I wonder what that could be.
Educated guesses are welcome in the comments. Yeah, break it, that's fine.
Oh, we got another heavy one. All right, what do we got here? Oh, it's already opened. A winch. All right, Superwinch.
So then I guess you have a pretty good guess at what this is.
Well, if you have a winch, you probably need a bumper. It's big enough and it's heavy enough to fit in this box. Okay, let's do some reading. Stealth bumper. No brand on it though. Let's get this thing open and see what we're working with here.
More boxes. More boxes.
I don't know what's in it. All right, we have a light bar.
CaliRaised. So that means we have a bumper.
From CaliRaised, I'm assuming. Let's get this bumper out.
You want to help me get this out?
All right.
Muscle man.
I feel like a little kid opening this stuff, like your mom when she's like, smile and show everyone what you got.
Put it by the tree so I can get a video. Thank you, honey. Do you love it?
Okay, as you see, Corey's getting his workbench set up. He's got his work cut out for him today. This is going to be a long one. So we really need to get moving to get this done today and to make sure it's done right. I'm gonna turn the lights on.
So the CaliRaised bumper actually isn't too bad of an install. What's nice is you don't even have to remove the bumper on your Tacoma. The only thing we need to do is take the grill out, this plastic piece on the bottom, we're gonna get that out, and we can pretty much do everything we need to from there. We do have to cut just a tiny little bit, but compared to most aftermarket front bumpers, we don't have to really cut a whole lot at all. So it shouldn't be too bad of an install, but we'll see once we start ripping into it. So I got everything here on the table that we need, minus the bumper that's behind me. We have this bracket here. This is going to be for the control unit on top of the winch. We have to take it off of the winch itself and relocate it. That's what this bracket is for. These brackets here are going to be for the power steering cooler that's on the front of the Tacoma. We just need to push that back just a few inches to get it out of the way for the winch. And then we also have these brackets here. These are for the light bar. So we will not be using these brackets that came with the light bar. These ones are made specifically to fit with the bumper, so we don't need these. Anyway, we have lastly the dual row CaliRaised light bar. I'm not 100% sure the width on this right now, but I'll take a look at that. And then we have the harness here, which I don't know how much of this harness we're going to be using. This has a different style switch on it that we're not going to be utilizing because we're going to be putting in an OEM style switch. So I'll have to grab one of those as well. So we're already almost halfway through the day. We didn't even get started yet. So I want to get this stuff out of my way. I want to get going on taking the grill out and everything that we need to take off the Tacoma so that we can start cutting stuff.
All right, Corey's getting the Tacoma all ready. I'm just gonna go over what we got here. We have a Superwinch. This is a 10,000 pound synthetic rope winch. It comes with a nice fair lead, and it also comes with a hook and everything you need, all the wiring. We went with this because it does have a relocatable control module. That's important because the CaliRaised bumper requires you to relocate this. Not all winches have that feature, so it's important that if you have the CaliRaised bumper that you find one that does. There are other brands like Warren that also are relocatable. And then as you saw, this LED light bar is included in the bundle with the bumper directly from CaliRaised LED. They ship them all in one package, and they do offer it pre-powder coated unlike some other companies. So you can order it from them with powder coating, with the light bar already in the box, and all the brackets and hardware you need to get it mounted up, including the wiring. So that's really, really nice. And then they also do include this bracket along with the bumper. And this is so you can relocate this control module on the winch.
So first things first, we gotta get the grill out from the Tacoma, which is super easy. You're gonna have two 10mm bolts on the top. You're also gonna have a clip on either side of the grill. Make sure to unplug your TSS sensor if you have that, and unplug your Raptor lights if you have those. And then once that is done, the grill simply comes right off, and now we have access to inside here so we can get this plastic piece off. So moving along the inside of the bumper here, there's going to be some tabs. I'm just using a trim prying tool, working my way down, and at the same time I am pressing on those clips from the inside of the bumper and just working my way along, getting all of those pressed out. And we can get this thing completely removed. So these top ones here, you can get popped out like I showed you. Put your hand in from behind, press on the clip. At the same time, I had a prying tool pulling out. And then right here, there's gonna be one that has a plastic clip in it that you need to remove in order to get it out. So let me see if I can get that out. In order to get this thing out, it's going to be a little bit easier if you remove these. You have to remove these anyway in order to get the bumper installed. So we're going to go ahead and take these out. They're literally just held in with one clip, and then you just need to maneuver them out. All right, now you have plenty of room back here. So once you get that plastic piece out, the shroud that's here, you can look down and you can see that there is a blue clip. You have to depress that and you pull that out, and that is what's holding in the corner here of this plastic piece. So you're gonna have one on this side and also one on this side. There we go. It takes a little bit of patience to get all those clips out. But once they come out, we have access to what we need to remove to get the bumper installed. So we're gonna take this clip out here on the end, move along here. There's another one here on the bottom, pop that out, and there's another one here. Just work your way down, and there should be a total of 6 clips here. Once those are removed, this whole piece will come right off. That's pretty easy. Now we need to go ahead and remove the front crash beam. So, crash beam is going to be a 14mm, and we're going to have 3 nuts over here on this side, and then you're going to have 3 nuts over here on this side as well. We'll go ahead and get those removed. So we got those 6 nuts off. In order to get the crash bar out completely, there's going to be a 10mm nut, or excuse me, a 10mm bolt down here on the bottom of your bumper. Go ahead and remove that from both sides. So right there is a clip. You took a 10mm bolt out of that, and now we have to take that clip out as well so that this metal bracket here can move. There we go. To this side. There we go. There's another two 10mm bolts under here in between the skid plate. So we're gonna go ahead and get those removed. Now the crash bar should come out. We're just gonna have to maneuver it in a way to get it out of here.
Sounds good.
There we go. Finally. Got that out. Now, with the crash bar out, we need to take off these frame extensions here that the crash bar mounted to. So again, you're gonna have 3 nuts on this side, 3 nuts on that side, and we can pull those off. Had enough of that manual ratchet.
All right, Corey is cleaning up all the parts that he took off of the Tacoma, and he's getting ready to do the fun part, which is cut the OEM bumper. That stuff is not gonna be going back on, especially the plastic shroud and the little piece that went in front of the OEM crash bar. So if you broke any of that, taking it off, it's not a big deal. We're gonna be cutting this little lip off, and then we can get the winch mounted up, right?
Yep, winch,
The winch,
light bar.
the light bar, everything mounted into the bumper before we put the bumper on the truck. So let's get this cut.
So when it comes to cutting the bumper, we're going to make a line about 1/2 inch to 5/8 of an inch away from this lip. So somewhere out here, and it's gonna come out to this thing here where it gets a little bit wider. So we're gonna go from this all the way around, all the way to the bottom. So we're gonna be taking out this whole section here, leaving this middle piece here, and then again cutting this over here. So that's also going to eliminate this whole thing on the bottom. Once we have that cut, we can clean it up a little bit, make it look good. The CaliRaised bumper is going to be covering that section, so if it's not perfect, it's okay. But I'm going to go ahead and either use some tape or a silver Sharpie and get this marked out. So to get this cut, I'm going to use a air saw. You can use a cutoff wheel, you can use a Dremel with a cutting wheel, whatever you have that works best. You might be able to do it with like a razor knife. Just be careful doing that. If you want to grab one of these, you can grab one at Harbor Freight. They're pretty cheap and they are really nice to use. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cut out and keep going from there. Changed my mind. Thing's vibrating so much, it's just hard to see what I'm doing, so don't use one of those.
Better late than never.
I'm only doing it for the people that would have said something in the comments, otherwise I wouldn't have.
Well, I think they look cute.
So that is now cut off. I went ahead and just ripped off all of the melted plastic that was built up along the edge. I'm gonna go ahead and get some sandpaper. I'm just gonna knock that down so it looks a little bit better. Again, you're not gonna be seeing this, but for peace of mind, I'm gonna go ahead and make it look as best as I can before I cover it up and put the bumper on there. So we got all of that cut, we got it cleaned up, and before we go and start working on the bumper, we can go ahead and relocate the power steering cooler. So you're just gonna have these couple of brackets here from CaliRaised, and essentially all this is going to do is you're going to be mounting the cooler in the same exact mounting locations from factory, except we're just going to be pushing it back a few inches. This is just going to give us clearance for the winch when it's in there. So we're going to go ahead, get these brackets unbolted, and we'll go ahead and get these bolted in place. So we got those 2 bolts out, so we have a bracket for each one of those, and then we have a third bracket here. There's another bolt over here on the passenger frame rail. I'll show you. You can see it from the passenger wheel well. We're gonna get that bolt out as well, and that's where the third bracket is gonna be going. So we're gonna take a bracket, we're gonna take a bolt and a nut. We are going to place this onto the factory bracket. Washer, nut, like so. Go ahead and put one on the other side. So we got those brackets on, and now we'll go ahead and slide that back, line up the hole with the slot, put the factory bolt back in there, tighten these down. All right, so we got those 3 brackets installed. As you saw, the one over there in the wheel well, it was bent as we tightened it down, but that is normal. Last thing we need to do is remove this factory tow hook here on the frame. So we have 2 bolts holding that on. Go ahead and get that removed, and then we can start working on the bumper, get the winch mounted onto that, the light bar, and then we can get that onto the truck.
You sleeping?
So we're done on the truck. We're gonna go ahead now and turn our attention to the bumper. So I'm gonna go and get the light bar mounted in here. We're gonna get the fair lead mounted to the front, get the control unit taken off the top of the winch, and we're gonna get that installed here onto the bumper. And then we can get this thing lifted up, put on the truck, get everything aligned, tighten it down, and then lastly we have wiring. So we're gonna get the light bar brackets mounted in here. You're gonna have the flat section facing towards the inside of the bumper. And then also, you can see here we have an angled side and a flat side. We're gonna be putting the flat side towards the front.
I'm ready. Finally, Corey has the winch mounted, the remote is removed, light bar's mounted, we're ready to pick it up, put it on the truck. So,
Yep,
here we go.
just guide it onto those studs and then get the nuts started. Is it the skid plate? Can we go above the skid plate? There we go.
Okay, that's resting on the skid plate.
It's not gonna go anywhere.
I guess that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Get a nut started on both sides. That fit, looks like it fits pretty
It
decent.
looks really nice, actually.
Good?
Yeah.
All right, she ain't going nowhere.
So you can see it completely hides that little extra lip you leave sticking out. So you'll just kind of adjust it around so both sides are even and tighten it down.
So with the bumper in place, looking at the winch, we can see that we actually don't need to mount the bracket for the controller. If I put the controller back on top of the winch where it's supposed to be, you can see this moves freely and it's not touching. So maybe with the Warren winch, you will have to relocate it, but with this Super winch, you should be good to go and eliminate an extra step. So I'm gonna get these screws reinstalled and just put the controller right back on top. We should be fine. Bumper is mounted up. Now we can go ahead and run the wiring for this up to the battery, and we can get the light bar wired up and get the grill back in. Pretty much finished that after that. Wiring up your winch is pretty simple. You just have a power and a ground coming off the back of it. So we're just gonna run that right up to our battery, negative on our negative terminal, positive on our positive terminal, and that's it. Winch is hooked up, so that's working as it should. So let's go ahead and get this installed.
Oh yeah, that reminds me, there's one more gift for you to open.
Oh, another one?
Yeah, there's one more before you do that. Pretty sure it's that one on the top over there.
One on that
Top
one.
of the blue.
D-rings.
Maybe.
Oh, it's open for me already.
There you go.
All right, so we got the surprise present put onto the bumper. Hopefully that's it. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the wiring harness hooked up for the light bar here on the bumper. If you guys watched our video doing the ditch lights, we're gonna be wiring this up the same exact way as we did that. So I'm not gonna go into super depth on how we did it again, but I'm gonna go ahead and get that done.
Okay, that wraps up day 7. That was a pretty rough one. We really had to hurry up to get everything done in time so that we could stay on schedule.
Yeah.
And the fitment on the CaliRaised bumper looks really good. Corey did a good job cutting and everything is really lined up pretty nice, so no worries there.
It's a pretty easy install. There's minimal cutting, and even if you screw it up,
It's covered.
yeah, it's covered. So the bumper, the CaliRaised bumper hugs the line on the OEM bumper pretty well, and it looks like it's supposed to be there. So not bad. So now we got the bumper, we got the winch, we got the light bar. Tomorrow, something else. I don't know what.
I mean, there's still pretty much under the tree. I know there's one where if you pick one, there's probably 5 others that go with it.
Yeah, we still have a bunch of
So
boxes.
keep that in mind.
Yep.
But yeah, if you guys are enjoying our Tacoma build series on the 12 days of mods, tune in tomorrow for day number 8, and we're gonna keep the mods coming, and this thing is really gonna look awesome when we're done. So stay tuned.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I just walk over everything.
I think you've walked backwards into 10 different things today.